Well, I think, well, first, we haven't had our whole team together, so that's going to be exciting when we get back in the fall or when we get ready to get started. And but what I've liked about this group, I think, this time of year, when you have guys that get banged up a little bit, you're not in any hurry to get them back. And the reason we like that, because it gives other guys a chance to get a lot more reps. And with that said, I think that we've got a lot of guys that right now that we think we're going to be able to get on the court and play because of them getting a lot of reps and knowing what some other guys have shown us. But overall, the versatility up to this point, we like that because we do feel we can move a number of guys around and give us a chance to play with different lineups.
Has Nate been one of those guys that's been banged up?
Yeah, and again, if we were playing games, Nate would have played. But the same with JP, we're holding him back. We had a plan on him from the very beginning, and there's not a guy when you practice this, and we do practice it, they're not banged up a little bit, but every guy, Cade re-injured his shoulder, but again, we're just cautionary and just, we want him to come back. When we get back here in the fall in a couple of weeks, we want to make sure everybody's 100% ready to go.
What happened with Nate? Has he been practicing lately?
He could practice, but we've chose not to because, again, we've done a lot with him. My idea of that is how do we play when Nate's not on the court? How do we play when Jacoby's not on the floor? How do we play if Felix isn't on the floor? So, again, I just said it. They all could have practiced, but we chose not to do that. And we're not alarmed by any of that. It just has given us a chance to have some fun and play with different lineups.
Have you changed the way you approach summer, the way you do things in the past couple of years just because of how much roster turnover is a part of the game now?
No, we haven't. We haven't changed any of that in terms of we know we have our base packages that we want to get in, and we're always going to experiment a little bit in the summer, do some different things, see what we do. And probably the biggest thing that we do, again, we don't put anyone in a box to start with. We try to let them come in and show us everything they can do because we don't want to have something that we don't know about, and the only way to find out what we got is to put guys in positions to see what they can do, and we've been able to do that with this group.
How's JP looking?
Who?
JP.
He's doing exactly. He's right where we need him to be, and he's coming back. He's playing, but again, he's the one guy that we knew from the beginning of the summer when we were going to bring him along and how fast we would do it, and he's right where he needs to be, and we still have him on as Alex would say, a pitch count, and we'll continue that until we get back in the fall.
You have big-time games with Duke and Michigan, and then a trip to Vegas with the Players Air Tournament and Houston. So how are you preparing your team right now for those games up ahead?
Well, the Michigan game's been, they backed out of that, decided they felt like they needed to stay closer or just for whatever reason, we're not going to play that game. But we haven't thought, again, we're just getting ourselves ready, just putting it all together. We always know we're going to play big games, but again, we haven't talked about Duke or anyone we're playing right now. We're just worrying about what we need to do to get our system intact.
What's your satisfaction level from the first summer workout until now in the sense of how much growth and development's happened?
I would say I'm at a 10 personally because you know what, we've had some guys that have really surprised us, and I think probably the biggest thing is the team chemistry. I mean, it's it's right there with the best of the best, and this group spent a lot of time together. You can tell they like each other. They bonded well. That's always something that you want to see come in. We've got a group of guys that have worked hard. They've done everything that we've asked, and they've gone above and beyond on their own. They know that there's a lot of competition, and they do know that they'll determine how much time they get on the court by how quickly they can figure out what role they need to play. But it's been a fun group, and I'm excited, and if I weren't excited, I wouldn't be doing it.
What has impressed you about Troy this summer, and what are some areas you'd like to see him continue to grow?
Well, what most impressed, once he made the commitment to come here, we told him what we needed him to do before he got here, and he came in 10 pounds heavier, stronger, and you can tell he's a competitor, shooter, and like all these guys, that you get banged up along the way, and he's fought through all that, and he didn't go the last practice we had, and we're just not going to push any of him. We want him to get healthy, and would he go? Absolutely, but I just love his toughness and the fact that he really wanted to be here, and he came in and, like I said, did everything we asked him to do, and I expect him to do that when he goes home this next couple of weeks.
With not putting anyone in a box, is there anyone that's really impressed you about being able to play somewhere on the floor that maybe you didn't think coming in they would be able to?
I would say all of them. You know, that's what I was talking about, the versatility. You know, each one of them has shown us some different things, and where that ends up at the end, I don't know. But that's, as a coaching staff, that's what's fun for us to find out how to put different teams together, different groups, but each guy that we have had has shown us something this year to this point that we can count on them and know that we could play them.
When do you expect Clarence to join you guys?
Well, we expect him to be here when school comes back, and he might come over early. You know, he could get here earlier. Just he's still doing some things with his national team, and so as soon as we're expecting him to be here when we get back for certain.
With Eitan,
Same thing. He's still with his national team, going through tryouts, and we expect him to. Again, he'll see how far he can go with that. I think they've got one more cut here in a week or so, and if he makes it past that, we'll wait and see where that leads.
what led you guys to seek him and want to go add another player late in the process?
Again, we just feel like that, you know, where we are in the game today, that you know, we're going to we've gone back to 15 scholarships, and why not utilize them? And that's what we've tried to do, and because we put so much emphasis on our practices being competitive, and again, we would never bring someone in that we didn't think could some way somehow help us and impact up winning and help us some way. And he was there, and we knew about him, and it just worked out for us.
Coach, you talked about chemistry, how much you liked it. How important, when you're bringing in a veteran point guard like Jacoby, was it to, you know, bring in a high character guy like that when you're talking about that chemistry?
Well, again, I mean, Jacoby's such a great kid, and you know, being from East Tennessee, and you know, really wanting to come back home, have a chance to play in front of his family, and he had made the comment one day, he'd always dreamed of walking on the court at the Food City Center, and he's been everything that we could ask for and more. Tough. Probably he and Felix and who would I say, Dwayne. They probably have put in more reps than anybody this summer. They're those marathon guys that just keep going, and that's great when you got a point guard that does that. And I know he's going to continue to get better because he really has the mindset to do that, and we're excited about him.
Excited. Go ahead, Ben.
With your front court's ability to shoot, Jalen, Cade, JP, I know it's end of July, maybe difficult to answer, but how much of a green light do you envision your front court and those guys having this season?
I don't know yet until they earn that license to be a green light shooter. There's things that we count on with what we do in practice, and to me, a green light shooter is just that, and we don't have many of those. And but it depends on if they earn that license. That's what it gets down to.
What does it take to earn it?
Consistency, and showing us that they do it with confidence, and they know the right time based on where we are and what we're trying to get done.
What excites you about Berg's skill set and how he can fit on this roster?
I just like everything about him. I just think that the versatility, again, play multiple positions, and that's what we look at him as, because of what we have. You know, we like interchangeable parts, and he brings that.
What excites you most about this team?
You what?
What excites you most about this team?
I mean, a lot. There's a lot to be excited about, but from a coaching standpoint, I've loved the way they have embraced what we do. They practiced hard, and they've competed against each other in a really good, healthy way, and it goes back. I think they really want to be a good team. I think they know that we've got a lot to prove, and I know that they realize that each guy's got to continue to get better. But most of all, probably the fact that they know that we've got competition at every spot, and they're going to have to be able to show up with consistency every day to earn minutes.
You've had a number of guys that have been part of the Ball Leaders program, and I'm just curious, what has it been to see the impact that has on them, like Kate is going through that process now?
Well, we've always embraced that program because, again, leadership, and we've always said the best teams are player-led, but that's part of their growth outside of, you know, what we do basketball-wise. There's, you know, we want them to embrace the full impact of what it's like to be in a college athlete and leadership. I mean, that, again, is so important, what goes on in that locker room and the way they talk with each other and care about each other. And, you know, our motto is it's not about me, and we need guys that understand that, which Cade certainly does, and he was one of those guys when you lose a group like we just lost that we expect him to grab that torch and run with it, and he's done that.